Wait a minute, Blair, what are you doing coding? You're a VR YouTuber. Because I want to. And if that's not a good reason for you, I made this VR game right here. Everyone happy now? Cool, on to the video. Alright, anyways, I recently attended my very first game jam, or Jam Gam, or Jam Jam. G's can make a lot of sounds. But anyways, it works like any other game jam. I have a limited amount of time to make a game. In this case, 60 hours. It was a mini. I guess, because it says it's mini. But Flair, you're a VR YouTuber. Why are you coding all of a sudden? I don't know, it could be fun. Let me tell you the details. So anyways, I was on call with this guy named SomeDumDum. He's been in a video or two.
He's scared of light.
No, get out of
He's scared
there!
of light.
No! No, he's not scared of light! Yeah, we all sucked in that video. I was talking to him, and he was telling me about this game jam that he's doing. It's like, ooh, wow, what's that? Now I have less than a year of coding experience under my belt, and all that is in Python. But even then, I said, hey, you should tell me the theme, and I should make a game with that. Then he just told me, you should just join it. And I was like, yeah, I guess I should. He was gonna be trying out a new game engine called Godot. Apparently that's good. And since I didn't want to make a Python game in like 3 days, I decided to join him. So pretty much I just sat down and consumed knowledge for a week straight on game jams and coding and whatever. For this game jam, we got to vote on the theme, and I'm just gonna say this outright, they all sucked. We had area of effect, one ability, and separation. Those are just facts. If you still don't believe me, let me read out some other previous ones. So we have one ability here. The most recent one was Lost Signal. Time before that is Broken Time. Row, which is kind of lackluster, but Back to the Beginning. You Are the Villain. Like, that's sick. And then on top of that, we have a special item that we have to implement, and we have no idea about that. That's just random. I was almost 100% sure that I was going to be one ability. That one just makes the most sense. And so in my free time, I started thinking of game ideas. My thought process was that no matter who you are and what you like satisfying stuff. So I was trying to make a very satisfying and calming game. It's going to be a very Stardew Valley-esque, like a top-down farming game. You had like a bucket that you could throw, and you'd have like water. I don't know. That'd be like your one ability or something. And if I got bucket for my special item, I would have won. I'm calling that right now. Anyways, a week goes by and the game starts, and guess what the theme is? Special ability. Who would have thought? Me. But what I wasn't ready for was the special item. It wasn't bucket. It was card. How am I going to put a card in a farming game? I probably could have figured it out, but I didn't have time for that. I had like a couple days. I need to start now. You see that bad game over there? You see that? That's gonna be the game. That's the game right there. Have you ever played Balatro? If not, it's a poker roguelike. That's it. And so I thought, I like a game named Euchre. Euchre roguelike, anyone? How hard could it be to code a card game? Pretty easy, in fact. But oh boy, was it not smooth. The first thing I started with was the cards, because it's a card game that makes the most sense. I heard about these things called classes in coding, and I thought, wow, that would be perfect. I could make like a card class, and each card could have a different like variables in the class. I spent too much time on this. I didn't know how to work it. DumDum didn't know how to work it. He was with me, by the way. We were both working together. Not on the same project, though. We were making different things. You made a really cool game, by the way. I just realized I'm just gonna make a list full of lists. Each card on the list had different values, different suits, different colors, stuff like that. And then I made a list full of all those lists of cards. Each of these lists changed values in the card scene. I know, pretty complex stuff. And I'm surprised that this worked so well. Usually things that I make absolutely suck. When you shuffle the cards, I wanted them to be sent out to each player's hand, face up or face down, depending on the person. You can see your cards, but you can't see the others. That's cheating. I didn't work too much on atmosphere. While I think this was the reason that my game wasn't at the bottom of the barrel, if I didn't work on atmosphere, I probably would have been a lot better of a game. You see the cards popping up? I didn't need that. You see the candle? I didn't need that. I sure wanted it though. Then finally, I started working on the actual game. One of the cards would be displayed in a very card-like fashion. I thought a great way to do this would be using an HBox container. It did not work well. You can only put control nodes in there. I looked at so many tutorials and no one told me that. I asked some AI. They didn't tell me anything. Everyone was saying, oh, these are so fun, so easy. No, they're not. These things are more picky than me and I don't like milking my cereal. So yeah, That's what I spent my first day doing. Second day rolls around and I decide I need to start working on these guys' AI. I wanted these things to be euchre masters, able to think 10 steps ahead and have the whole game set up, knowing every step the player is going to take, making it impossible for them to ever win. Wow, these guys actually do something. Yeah, that's good enough. Yeah, I know, I'm so funny. So we got the guys working. They have a simple AI, pretty dumb, but it works. Now I needed to make it so that you could actually play your cards and try to beat them. Who would have thought that that was complex? No one, and they'd be right. What I made wasn't that complex, and I had the idea very upfront, and it would have worked. You know that scene that holds like all my cards, and the cards are like the most important part of the card game? Yeah, that file corrupted. All that information was broken. It's not gone. It's still there. And I was able to somehow copy the information and put it into a new scene, but the information was still somewhat glitched. Any variable set in the scene was not able to be changed in that scene. A good example would be when I would set it to whether it was your turn or not. It started off false, and then when it came to your turn, I had a function that turned it to true, and it would say it was true. I tested multiple times. But even if I would call it again right after it said it was true, it would call itself as false. That didn't make any sense to you. It's essentially this SpongeBob meme, which actually explained it perfectly. I realized I would just have to work around this. But this took me the end of the second day and the start of the third day. I've already lost precious hours working the third day. I got 4 hours. I need to get this in. Looping the game was easy. I already have it. I just need to do it 5 more times. 2 hours till due date. I made some sprites to say if you win or lose. 1 hour till due date. I make a start screen. 30 minutes till due date. I try to make some audio for the game. 15 minutes till due date. The audio's too long, I need to cut it down. 10 minutes till due date. I can't hear the fire sound, but I need to turn this in now. 5 minutes till due date. Don't have time to watch a 6-minute video on how to export. Time's up. My first game jam, I turned it in late. I had flown too close to the sun. Because of my late submission, I lost about a day of ratings and comments. And even then, it wasn't the game I had hoped to have. I had forgot that people don't know how to play a game that's made by some random guy. And Euchre is just a hard game to learn. Looking back on this, it probably wasn't the best idea for a game jam. I later added a very simple how to play menu, but it was horrible. I didn't feel like messing with like text and stuff, so I just made a picture, an A sprite, and just drew out all the text. My font was horrible. People were saying that it was hard to read, and I agree. Look at that E, what is that? Out of the 161 submissions, I got 55th, which isn't horrible. Top 33%, and also I got some good comments, which made me feel good. SomeDumDum got 7th, which was 100% deserved. He made such a fun and original game. The one I thought was gonna win was called OuttaWater, which I really liked. It was original, on theme, and also the guys who made it seemed really cool. It wasn't finished, but I thought it was very funny, and that made up for it. Got 6th though, which made me cry a little. The other one was the 3rd place winner, which was Pickpocket Simulator, and I thought that this one was also very fun. I played both for multiple hours, but this one was definitely different, which I thought was really interesting how they did that. For anyone who watches this, I think that you should give these guys some love, along with SomeDumDum. I put their links in the description. They're fun, play them. Now you might be wondering, you told us all this, but who won? A game known as Garden Score, a farming simulator. Overall, I had a lot of fun with this. I'm actually going to be doing another game jam next week. Sorry. By that I mean right now. So if you'd like me to talk about that one, leave a like. But either way, thank you and have a good day, guys.